Ladies and gentlemen, Liquor Talk, a brand new episode starts now. Welcome everybody to another edition of the Liquor Talk podcast, the podcast that is better than a Jet2 holiday package, and also the podcast where you can listen with your side piece, and we promise we won't shine the camera on you, highlighting that you're with your side piece and not the main person. Welcome to Liquor Talk. Everybody pour up a drink right now. Everybody podcasting out of Atlanta. She's the host of the Spicy Spectrum podcast. It's Miss Pepper Cat. How you doing, Miss Pepper Cat? And welcome to the Liquor Talk podcast. How you doing today?
I'm great. How are you? Thanks for having me on.
Thank you for coming on, and thank you for Podmatch for setting this up. Shout out to my people at Podmatch. Give you a free promo, by the way. But nevertheless, I'm blessed, I'm wonderful, even though it's raining here, But then again, it's that time of the year where in Florida it rains like almost every day, every afternoon. It's gonna rain. So
Right. Yeah, no, yeah, I understand. I'm in Georgia, so it rains a lot here too. So similar climates. So, yeah.
yeah. Without further ado, shout out to you for being a Georgia girl. Let's get into it. Tell me about the Spicy Spectrum podcast.
Mhm. Yeah, sure. So I started Spicy Spectrum in 2023 around October. And I wanted to give a different side to my customers who buy my adult content and call my phone text line and who are my fans on my OnlyFans. I wanted to give them another side of me. And so I decided to make an audio podcast to kind of give my thoughts on what I do and them as customers. And then it bloomed into something bigger. We got nominated for the AVN Awards and the Adult Australian Awards. And so we talk about sexuality, male desire from a perspective of an adult entertainer because I feel like perspectives like mine are not really known. So I'm giving an inside look of what happens in the dark when everyone's asleep, what I do with my customers, and what that all means for society and how we look at pleasure and sexuality.
So, what was your motivation behind starting this podcast? Besides the fact that
Mhm.
nobody really knows what goes on in the dark, what else were your motivating factors to start a podcast?
Yeah, so well, I have a background in media. I was a news producer before I started to do this I was a news producer for about, I want to say 2.5 to 3 years, maybe 3 years. And so I made a transition because I wasn't really happy and I also wanted something I could call my own. And so I made a leap of faith and jumped into this phone sex first and selling panties and doing other adult content work. And so even though I was doing adult content, I still wanted a piece of my journalism background. So then I wanted to find a spicy way to keep my image of an adult entertainer, but also that part of me of being a producer and adding that part where people can see me in another light. So that's what inspired me to really go with my podcast and show it to the world.
Yeah, I feel you on that because I went to school for journalism. I didn't quite finish in
Hmm.
journalism because the programs were kind of strenuous and also news is
Yeah,
boring. Let's be honest. Sitting
it
up there
is.
talking about the news every day, it makes yourself go crazy. Like I just don't see how people do that, and
Hmm.
it's just like more power to you for all you journalists out there who are doing it out there. You are doing your thing. Keep doing your thing. Shout out to all the black journalists out there, but I don't see how y'all do it because news can be so damn boring and also it'll make you go
Hmm.
crazy.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. And that's one of the reasons why I actually quit because especially during COVID, like that was a really crazy time for us. Like no one talks about that with us having to report deaths all day and talk about sad stuff. And then you go back home and then you see it on the news again. It's like very depressing. And it's a high driven job. So that was another factor why I left, just because of the topic of news. Now I talk about sex, and that's just more exciting and fun, in my
Yeah, I'm not
opinion.
gonna lie to you. Being a podcast host is always the sex episodes that always be the more exciting episodes.
Oh
So
yeah, they love them.
yeah. So on your podcast, you talk about how men open up to you. So what made you decide to become this safe space for men to open up to you? And I appreciate you for that because us men, we don't have too many safe spaces to open
Mhm.
up to, and you open up your platform to be there for men. So what inspired you to want to be there for men?
Yeah, so when I first started, I didn't really know much about male sexuality and what men were really thinking. And so I kind of described myself, and I know it sounds funny, as a topless, uncertified sex therapist because men really do come to me for things that they don't feel comfortable saying to other people because they don't want to be judged, or they may be into some fantasy or thought that they know their partner or someone may not like or out them for having. And so it's kind of a discreet way for them to really open up in a way, which says a lot about society too, and how men's thoughts and desires and even their sexuality, in my opinion, is misunderstood, and we should be talking more about it instead of just sweeping it under the rug. And our place that we hold for society that people don't realize is that it's a place where men can take off their mask and be fully human. Sexuality is a part of our humanity that we don't always accept, but you can do it in our space. So, yeah, I know that
That
was a
is
long answer.
no, that's good. It's good. It's good.
Yeah.
That is wonderful, and also, like I said, from a male's point of view, that's wonderful that you
Mhm.
guys are so accepting of men and their thoughts and stuff. So,
Yeah.
and also, now, how do you encourage them to deal with their partners if they can't even open up to them? Because my thoughts is like, if you're my partner, I should be able to come to you. But if I can't come to you,
Right.
then what's the point in still being with that person? And especially if it's not
Mhm.
somebody I done had kids with.
Yeah, yeah, I totally agree. Some of the guys who are seeing me are actually seeing therapists and sex therapists, which I think is great. And some of their partners actually know what they're doing with me. Some don't, I'm gonna be honest. Um, but in terms of that, I encourage communication. I've had guys bring on their partners and we have fun on camera, and I make uh, because it's an exchange, it's not like I'm falling in love, with the partner. Sometimes couples feel comfortable coming to me because they know it's a paid exchange and I don't have attachment or I'm not touching them. And it's a way for them to explore too and have communication with what they like and what they don't. People, I do encourage even communication on my podcast too, with how to talk to your partner and to be open. So, yeah.
Yeah, I definitely. You have to be open with your partner, or else why
Hmm.
are they your partner if you can't be open with them?
Right. And I agree on both sides. Like, I feel like we should be more open to be honest with people with what we like. Like, it's time to stop hiding. This is 2025. Everyone has their own desires, and your partner may have something that you may not know that they like too.
Yes, and honestly, I feel like if people were more open, people wouldn't be out here with their side partners at a damn
Mhm.
concert getting caught and stuff. I'm
Oh my
like,
god.
I'm like,
That's
I'm seeing that everywhere. Now that it happened, everybody and their
hmm
mama is mocking it. But yet, it highlights something that apparently you're not being fulfilled by your partners because both people are married.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, that clip was crazy. And I know what you were talking about. From my point of view, I think too, on top of that, there's a lot of course, cheating going on. And also, too, what I see is a lot of people struggling with, I think we should be more open to different types of relationships instead of lying to ourselves. Like, if you want to date and have an open relationship, then be with someone who wants an open relationship so that you both cannot, you both can be on the same page. And I think people are in a lot of mismatch relationships that they are forcing themselves into for an image, as we saw with the couple,
Mhm. Yeah.
So, yeah,
Yeah,
it's
I
really
definitely
interesting.
agree. I definitely agree. It's like, and then a lot of people be in open relationships and don't even realize it.
Hmm.
Like, this person
Exactly.
is just doing laps around you. You thinking you in love, but this person just doing laps around you. I'm like, why not just go ahead
Yeah.
and be open with it for both parties?
I agree. I agree.
It's
So.
crazy. Now, I saw another one of your episodes where somebody spent $20,000 just to watch you punch something. Ma'am, what in the hell do these people be thinking? Like, because it don't make sense to me hearing it. Like, $20,000 just to punch something, ma'am. I need
Yeah,
you to
so
make some sense of it.
so this guy came to me about 3 years ago, and he wanted me to punch a pillow and say very vulgar things that I can't really repeat. But yeah, and so I decided to look at our Cash App exchange over the total of the 3 years we've been camming, and he spent 21 plus K on our cam shows. And yeah, I mean, and he said I can share that part. But yeah, he asked me punching pillows, nude, and just, we do like a role play, and we do it for about an hour or two, and yeah, he
You
spent a lot
going
of
Muhammad
money.
Ali on the
Yeah.
pillows?
Yeah, I was punching it, screaming at the pillow, and pretending it's a person, so that's a
Mhm.
part of the kink. And actually, I do a lot of wrestling fantasy and person. It's people pay me to wrestle them, honestly, like people like that WWE thing, like where you wrestle
Mhm.
people.
Yeah.
But so like that's a kink, and so I think the person who punch has me punch the pillow, that's a part of it, is your body moving in a fighting way. But yeah, it's an interesting dynamic that I come across when I can with a lot of different types of people. Yeah.
That's an interesting king because I'm thinking for
Mm.
20,000, I'm like, I'd rather instead of having a kink, I'd rather fly you down here like for 20,000. Have you ever had somebody offer to fly or book you a flight to wherever they are?
All the time. They always want to fly me somewhere, but we're not allowed to on our sites. So,
You're not allowed to
yeah.
on your sites. How would they find out though?
Well, I guess I can sneak. But yeah, I mean, they sometimes they can read the chats. They have new AI too, where they can like see if someone's trying to pull them off the site, or if you're chatting and try to, get off the site. So they're really serious about meeting in person. So
So have you ever thought
yeah.
about working for yourself and going in the independent route? Because you see a lot of OnlyFans creators
Hmm.
nowadays. Have you ever thought about going that route so that way you could venture off and
Hmm.
also you'll get more of the pie if you work for yourself instead of work for a company?
Yeah, well, so I do a lot. So I do phone sex. I'm on subscription sites, adult clip sites, and I also have my own Design Your Dream Girl, which I just trademark, and it's basically a place where people can come to me and have some fantasy that they want to fulfill, or do some role play, or some sort of connection. And they can do it through video chat, custom videos, or messaging. It's at designyourdreamgirl.com. And it's really great that you mentioned that, because I do think that more people should not depend on companies to make money, and to have your own brand so that, you know, you won't get kicked off a site and then you find yourself not having money, to pay for yourself. And so that's one of the things that I've been doing is starting my own adult company and being independent, like you said. And yeah,
So are
spreading
you
brand
looking
awareness.
to launch this company in 2026, or what you looking to do with it?
Launch now. I do want to grow it more. So eventually I want people to actually work for my site and then me be behind the scenes. But for right now, it's just me and I'm the product. I'm the person they come to for the fantasy. And that was officially launched in 2025, in the beginning of 2025, or sorry, 2024. Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's wonderful. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Liquor Talk. The more you drink, the better we sound. Have you ever done fulfilled fantasies while drinking? Like, have you ever showed up and got on there and been on some drink, had something in your system?
There's been a couple of times, yeah, or like high. Different, they've like caught me in different times because I'll get them. Some people, will request a show while I'm having dinner, with a glass of wine or something like that. Or if I just came home from the club and I see someone who wants a cam show. So yes, I've been on cam and a little more exciting than usual. And I typically love tequila, margaritas. But yeah, anything that makes me comfortable on camera. So
Hey,
yeah.
that's what's up. You know what's funny is you mentioned margaritas. I'm sipping on one as we're talking.
You are? Are you doing the lime or is it like a mixture? Or?
It's just a mixture. I ain't have time to get the lime today.
Mhm.
Working got caught up in traffic. I still got the nine to
Yeah.
five life. I'm trying to get out of that 9 to 5 life. So, but it was
I
interesting though.
understand.
So what is the craziest request you got from a man or somebody, whether it's a man
Ugh.
or a woman? What's the craziest thing that you just like? Oh hell no, this is just crazy.
Well, what can I not say on here? Are
It's an
you
open book, ma'am. It's an open book. You can say whatever. It's an open book. No
It's
limits.
so much, but I'll start with the nasty if you don't mind.
Hmm.
The first time I started camming, I was very innocent, and this guy came on. He did not warn me he was going to do this. He just wanted to finger his ass, right? Which is fine. Cool. I'm
Hmm.
not skittish with that. And then he takes his finger out and then diarrhea slides out. And he did it on purpose. And he just squirts it all over the floor. And it's just the first thing I see, and I'm traumatized. Then he starts to finger it again, and it's splashing everywhere on the camera. And then he hangs up, and I never see him again. But I mean, traumatized at that sight that I saw on camera. So that was one of the wildest things I've seen.
Yeah,
Hmm.
that is pretty nasty. That is pretty nasty. At least it was on camera and not in person because
Right.
I've heard stories about with certain women going to them foreign countries and the
Hmm.
men wanting to defecate on them. I'm like,
I can believe
man,
it. I can
I just
believe it.
don't know what these men see in beautiful women and think, oh, let me treat her like a porta potty.
Right.
Get it? I don't care how much money you have. Like I don't see the fantasy in becoming somebody's porta potty.
Yeah. Yeah. Some people, they are really into it. They really are. Um, but yeah, but in terms of me being requested to do something, other than viewing someone else on camera, in terms of me, I've had guys who will ask me to act like a dog, or someone tried to hypnotize me on camera one time for about 2 hours. Just different types of role plays. Someone asked me to stab my hand, which I didn't do. with a fork because they were into like blood play, and that was like another thing. So that's something I won't do on camera, but someone wanted me to, or someone wanted me to shave my head on camera. I didn't do it, but those are the type of things that we get. Those are the type of requests. But I've seen
What
it
the
all.
hell is wrong with these people? They want you to stab yourself on camera, want you to shave your head on camera. What the hell
It's
is wrong with these people?
it's all about humiliation kinks, that kind of stuff. Some people have things where they want to see extreme, and then we get the simple ones where they just want to jerk off on camera and just, get a little quickie out. That's the typical call, you know, them
Hmm.
being trying to get off before a work meeting or something like that.
Trying to.
Cuckolding, yeah, stuff like that. Yeah.
That's interesting. That is crazy. So I guess you asked answered one of my questions. What were your boundaries when it comes to that? Besides,
Mhm.
you said stabbing yourself and also shaving your head. What are some other boundaries you have?
I don't swallow objects. Like I know some people have wanted me to like swallow toys and stuff like that. Um, Anything that will harm me. I'm a very open-minded person. Like honestly, I've done it all. I'm gonna be honest, and that's why people love coming to me. Literally. But yeah, so um anything that will like harm me, like blood, choking. I'll choke, but not to the point where I'll pass out. No ropes and stuff like that around me, and anything that will harm or open wounds, all that stuff. So
Yeah,
yeah.
understood, understood. Yeah, ain't nothing that will harm
No
you. So,
animals.
oh, hell no. I would hope no animals. No, don't harm
That's
the
been a
animals.
question. That's been a question. I don't tell people I have a dog anymore because then they'll. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to
No,
interrupt.
go ahead, go ahead, go ahead.
I don't, and it's crazy. I don't tell people I have a dog because sometimes they'll be like, "Oh, can you do something with your dog?" No. S-
Oh, hell no.
But those
Not
are
with the dog.
extreme examples. It's not normal. Once in a while you come across someone who's like, it's like no. But
With those people, do you have them kicked off the have their account banned?
oh, absolutely. If I see someone who is breaking rules or doing anything, if I hear some kid in the background, I will report your account and I will call the police. I will gather, and like what I'll do too is I know how to get information out of people. So if I hear like someone who has like a kid or something in the background, I get their state, but like I'm very nice so that they can give me information, and I'll give it all to the company, and then they'll call the police and everything. So, yeah, I'm
Mm,
very serious about that. Mm, but
I
I know
understand
how to
though.
have them tell me stuff at their full names and everything. Yeah.
Oh
Hmm.
wow, those people are crazy. That that's just crazy. And to be, I don't know who in their right mind would. I don't care how brief you are. You ain't getting all my information now. I don't know what these people be thinking. Like,
Some of
what
them
in
are
the
like
hell?
high. Who knows? Like drunk.
Gotta
Crazy.
be, because it's
Yeah.
just for people to, you could rob people with this kind of information. This is like that Lil Wayne song Mona Lisa. That's what
They
it could
love
be.
Yeah, they love the risk. They love the thrill because a lot of these men are very uptight in their real life. Some of them are CEOs, some of them are, and high up in companies, and they love putting themselves at risk and doing things that they don't do in their normal life. It's like the thrill of it, of paying people to do outrageous stuff and putting their ID, their names all out there too. So it's like a
That
part of the
is
kink.
crazy. If you were a super asshole, you could blackmail the fuck out of some people because and get paid for
and
it.
some people do. So that is actually a kink. So I don't do it, which I may start to. I don't know. It sounds fun. So some people get paid to to blackmail because that's a kink of the person to give them thousands and thousands of dollars to be blackmailed because that's a part of the role play, and they'll give them a bunch of money, and then the woman is like a dom, and she'll just take all his money and blackmail and post stuff online, and they'll have to pay to take it down. It's actually crazy.
That
Hmm.
damn, that's crazy because I be seeing so many different entertainment or
Hmm.
celebrities getting taken down, being hit with lawsuits by Jane Does and stuff. I'm like, wow.
They and like deep down, some of them actually like it. It's like a part of the whole kink. It's crazy.
Some of
Mhm.
these people have some weird ass kinks. I'm not gonna lie to
Yeah.
you.
Yeah, it's quite different, and that's what I learned when I first got into it. The secret lives that people live is really interesting to me.
Now,
Yeah.
shifting to personal life, how do you separate your personal life from being
Hmm.
on camera, on like being a webcam girl and being people's dream girl? How do you separate everyday life from
Hmm.
doing this on camera?
Yeah, so I everyone knows what I do now. I actually came out a couple of days ago to everyone, like my friends, family. Um, so everyone knows, but I'm pretty open. Even when I first meet men, or not, well, I'm bisexual, but when I meet people, but most currently men, who I've told what I do, they're cool with it. I've gone out with guys in the past who know what I do and know how to separate me from what I do with my customers. And so I haven't run into any problems yet. Hopefully I don't. But if someone's not comfortable, then I'll just date someone who feels comfortable with being open s- sexually too. I'm also into poly as well, so I have a different sex life.
I
Yeah.
mean, that's what's up that you
Hmm.
can date because I don't understand how some men or some women can be so shallow and not understand that. Hey, support the damn
Hmm.
naked hustle. We getting money out here. Like some people can be so shallow
Yeah.
towards that.
Yeah, it's so crazy. I think people, I guess they judge just based on what they see, but they don't understand that we're people just like everyone else. Like we all have our own lives. We pay taxes. You know what I mean? And uh, we're not in love with our customers. It's a transaction that people are paying for. So,
Yeah, it's definitely a
yeah.
transaction, and people. I feel like people don't understand that it's just a transaction. It's not like you're going
Mhm.
to meet them in person. Now, if you're
Right.
meeting them in person, like some creators are, then
Mhm.
hey, that might need to be a conversation to be had.
Right. Yeah, exactly. I agree.
Exactly.
Mhm.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Liquor Talk once again. This is the second spicy episode we got of the month, y'all. So talk to me about the podcast when you talk to escorts and like what are some things that
Mhm.
frustrate escorts?
Yeah, escorts, companions. I guess one is people not reading their websites and not following directions, which that frustrates me too as a cam model. Sometimes guys want us to do things for them, and so that's a big thing is us setting boundaries. Um, in terms of hygiene, sometimes people don't take showers and they're not clean in certain places. And, you know, sometimes if we're having sex with someone, then that hygiene can impact the person who's
Yes, it can.
providing the service. Yeah. So those are some things I know that have frustrated escorts. And then also the perception of what people think they are, and the stereotypes that people have in terms of judging. And I think that's as a whole, the adult professionals and society still being uncomfortable with um, our services that we provide. But what people don't understand is that we are helping to regulate people, and there are people who need outlets, and without outlets, it can become dangerous, in my opinion, if people don't have places where they can sexually release. things that they may have that they may not feel comfortable doing in other ways.
You know, I have
Yeah.
to agree with you there because we all need to release in some type of ways. It's crazy out
Hmm.
here that people don't have ways to release of how because it's needed, ladies and gentlemen. It's definitely
It
needed. You
really
definitely
is.
definitely need
Hmm.
it because maybe you won't have less crimes out here, or I
It's
don't know.
true. No, it is true. And what people don't understand too is, in a lot of countries that are sexually sur- suppressed, in a lot of religious countries, that's where they have the highest sexual crimes because people don't have outlets like ours,
Mm.
to release. So it
I will
is
say,
more important than people think it
yeah.
is. Hmm.
I will say that's a good thing about America, even though America got a lot of fucked up things going on right now. We can be sexually liberated. We can be free and open, unlike the other countries. Like, not to name a few of them, but I know there are some countries that are highly religious, to where if you get caught like exploring your sexual fantasies, they will throw you in
Hmm.
jail.
Oh yeah. And they call me. It's so crazy. I feel so scared for them. I have people, call from different countries and I'm kind of scared for them, on the phone or on cam because they can't do it, in other ways. India and like a bunch of places that
That
I don't
is
know how they found me,
crazy.
but it's yeah, it is. It really is. Like you come across so many different types of people doing this. So many
Mm.
famous people, like well-known people, come to us. Like it's such a crazy world.
Yeah, I bet it is a
Yeah,
crazy world having famous people come to you. Does
it
the And
is.
it's sad is when you see these lawsuits and stuff, and how these. I'm like, was this person trying to come up, or was the adult entertainer trying to just get a come up because of who it was and lie on the person? Now, if it happened,
Yeah, I
if
don't know.
sexual assault or sexual abuse happened, yeah, they should go to
Mhm.
jail. But I don't need
Right.
y'all out here lying on people.
Right. No, yeah. No, yeah. There's definitely a fine line between telling the truth and, something that actually happened. So,
Yes.
yeah.
Yes, that is
Mhm.
very interesting. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, this is Liquor Talk. The more you drink, the better we sound. Now, earlier this month, I did have a sexual podcast host come on earlier this month, and
Mhm.
they talked about how women don't really get a lot of orgasms, and like
Mhm.
only like 80% of women can have sex and not have orgasms. So, I wanted to get your take on how do we
Mhm.
close the orgasm gap, because I found there are 7 ways a woman can get an orgasm from a man. Or what is your thoughts on that?
Mhm. Yeah, I can believe it. I think a lot of that is communication, misunderstanding of the female body. A lot of guys, especially who I talk to, think that they can just give a woman an orgasm by just having their penis inside of the woman's vagina or, having sex. And they don't understand that, there's a lot that they should be doing in terms of warming up women, you know, focusing not always on penetration. And so I think it's just a lot of misinformation with sex education. A lot of people watching porn, which is meant for fun. That's why it's called adult entertainment, not sexual education. And I think too that happens in the bed or at home where parents aren't teaching about sex and
You know what I found out?
pleasure, you know.
Yeah. And you know what's
Mhm.
bad about parents on Jewish? They always taught you abstinence. Don't have
Mhm.
sex. Don't have sex. Man, how can
Right.
y'all teach us this when half y'all getting cheated on, and some of y'all out here doing the cheating? Like they always are like, do
Yeah.
as I say, not as I do. Me
Mhm.
and my guest I had on like a few weeks ago, we both were like, why are they teaching abstinence instead of teaching them how to find
Mhm.
pleasure?
Exactly. Yeah, that would help with if they taught pleasure early and instead of people trying to find certain ways like to watch porn and instead of being taught at home, then it would help with a lot of problems that we have in the world.
It would definitely
Mhm.
help, and it would definitely help. And Now, has this ever happened to you? Has a man actually had you have an orgasm on camera or no?
So I do mainly solo content. I have done collaboration, but with other women. In terms of orgasm, I made myself orgasm on camera. Now I have, I do use toys, which I suggest couples think about. There are toys that you can do remotely. So there are toys that, and I'm sure it's the same for men too, but for women, where the man can control the toy. And I've had customers make me orgasm that way with dirty talk virtually, which is crazy to
Really?
think about. But, that's something that people can do to fill the orgasm gap is playing around with different toys and not being intimidated by toys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Listen, I talked to my fellas about that, and we both came to a consensus. We open the toys, just no rubber dicks. No, no, that's the only thing. Like, I think
No rubber dicks.
that's where we
Oh
all draw the line.
no!
Like,
I always use rubber dicks during my cam shows and my videos.
I think that's where we drew the line at. Well, I guess you can
Yeah,
use the rubber dick if you're like using it, and but if we're in person, I'm the only dick in the room. That's where I think that's where we drew the line at.
I can see that. What about like a jackrabbit or like vibrator that's shaped like kind of a dick where it vibrates?
I mean, I guess if it helps y'all get off, I mean, you gotta be open to it. But hey, we all just like, no, I don't. I'm not using your dildo to dildo you when I have the real thing. Like, we are like,
Mhm.
no, that's just where certain things have drawn the line at.
Mhm.
But I guess
Yeah.
I feel like with education, with sex education, and also different platforms and people speaking about it, it will definitely
Mhm.
open up for to help y'all get y'all orgasms. Because it's sad to hear almost
Yeah.
80% of women are not having orgasms from
I know, so
heterosexual
sad.
sex.
That is so sad. I mean, for me personally, I get orgasms like probably 5 times a day. Like that's just me. But that's really sad that people are not having orgasms.
Yeah, I don't know
That
what it
is,
is because you have
yeah,
people like yourself that have them all the time, but then you have some
yeah.
people that don't really have them at all. I'm like, what are y'all doing out here?
I know that is wow. Yeah, they need to come to me. I can help them out. I don't know.
So have you had? So I'm taking you've had women call you as well.
Oh yeah, so I've had women call my phone sex line, not camming. I do have couples who I cam with, men and women, on camera, and I also have couples who also buy my content, and they always chat with me and tell me how they enjoy it. But in terms of my phone sex, I've gotten two women total. One who likes women, and I'm bisexual, so it's
Hmm.
natural. And then another, she was curious about her sexuality, and that's kind of cool. Cool too, how I helped people, men and women, feel comfortable, explore their sexuality, and help them talk about it too. So
Yeah,
those are the
that's
only two cases. Hmm.
that is
Yeah.
wonderful. Now, what is something about this industry that you wish you would have known before you got started?
Oh no. I wish I would have known. I'm gonna be honest. I wish I would have known about it earlier. Like, well, not the on camera, but like the phone part. I probably would have started it earlier in college to start paying off my loans for grad school and just do something where my voice was out there, but my face wasn't
Hmm.
known and I was stacking up my money. That's what I wish. I mean, I wish I would have known about it earlier because there were times when I was thinking about making extra money. And um if you look at like artists, like I think Gabby from Precious, she was a phone sex operator. Like a lot of well-known actresses were phone sex operators and they use that to stack their money. I
Mm,
didn't know that.
I didn't know
So,
that either.
yeah.
Do you think now? Do
Tiffany
you think?
Haddish.
Oh wow!
Mhm.
I
Yeah,
could not
it's
imagine her.
crazy. I know,
I
right?
couldn't imagine her doing it. I'm like, Because she
Yeah.
a damn comedian. I can't imagine a damn
Mhm.
comedian. I'm trying to listen to you to get off or something, and you over here making me laugh. I couldn't imagine that.
Yeah. But our job requires, especially phone sex, acting. So
Hmm.
she was probably acting in some role. It really does require acting that people don't understand because you have to paint the picture for the person because they can't see you,
That's true.
or else they can hang up.
That
So
is
yeah.
true. Now, do you think women would pay male actors for the fantasies? Do you think women would pay men, or is it just men paying
Mm,
men?
it's mainly men paying men. I do get couples who will come, but that's only because their husband typically is the one who initiates it. Yeah, I don't think so. I think I would like to see it more, but you don't see it as much, to be honest.
Mm,
Um, I think male sexuality I'm not saying we are different, but we are also the same, but not in the same way when it comes to paying for sexual pleasures. Yeah.
yeah, I don't know why y'all women
Hmm.
won't pay for, but I know us men will pay top dollar like it's nothing.
Yeah, you
I
will.
mean, for crying out
Hmm.
loud, men will be making it rain at the strip clubs and stuff, but I
Yeah,
don't be
they
seeing those same women making it
do.
rain at the male reviews from what I've heard.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I think it's because two women from what I've seen, I don't want to generalize, have more access to sex. I guess some men may want an experience and just pay in exchange for it. I'm not sure. I don't know. Or maybe too, I think women have been socialized to not really be in tune with their sexuality too. Could be a
Hmm.
big part of it. Hmm. And
Wow,
explore it because honestly I would pay for porn. I mean I would pay for a woman's porn. I would pay for porn that I enjoy just because I get off to it, man or woman, because I'm into so many different types of things. So
mm.
but not every woman is like that.
Yeah, I appreciate you for being
Hmm.
open about it. So, what is the
Hmm.
since you brought it up? What is the craziest thing that you're into that most people would not be into?
I'm kind of I enjoy when people watch me have sex in public. Exhibitionist. Yeah, I go to sex clubs. I haven't gone to any currently, like as of right now, but in the past, I found out that I enjoy having sex in front of other people, which I did. And I did in public places. And even now, like I'll have couples who will buy content of me cleaning up the house naked and me being unaware that they're watching me, and I kind of like that too. With being watched, people getting off to me and me not knowing too. So that's kind of
That's
what kink
interesting.
that I'm into. It's a kink that I'm into, and I really like it. I like showing off my body too. So
Yeah,
yeah.
I don't blame you because you got a beautiful body.
Oh,
So
thank you.
I don't blame
Thank
you.
you.
I totally don't blame you. You know what I'm saying? Because hey, show it
Mhm.
off if you got it right. Ladies and
Mhm.
gentlemen, this is Liquor Talk once again. Shout out to everybody that's out here tuned in and stuff because this is a safe space for
Mhm.
everybody. So, what is one change about the industry you would make?
I don't think people who are 18 should be entering the industry. I think people 21 at the earliest, even a little later, like when your brain is fully developed, I don't think um 18, that's just too young. I think you need time to develop your brain and also find what you like. Because when
So,
I entered this industry, my brain was fully developed.
mm,
It was a
so
conscious decision.
conscious
Hmm.
decision. I got you. So what you thinking like rental car age? Because at 25 you can like rent a car and not get charged extra for it.
Yeah. 25. I mean, maybe 23 can get away with it, but honestly, yeah, like 25, honestly, at the
Another
youngest.
thing that might be 25 and up. But and I'd actually agree with it because a lot of these artists, some of them they might be trying to find some celebrity and have their come up. So I would
Hmm.
actually agree with it. Whereas somebody more seasoned, they're about getting that money without trying to get a
Oh,
come up.
yeah. Exactly. I mean, you have women who are entering in their 40s, late 30s, and they are serious about what they do. Even though they're late, they know what they want. You know, these women are go-getters. And like those are escorts alike, and they make a lot of money because they take it seriously.
Mm.
Um, yeah.
Yeah, wow. Shout out to them for making all that money and stuff. So
Hmm.
now, I did check out one of your episodes, Why Do Men Cheat? And you know what? I feel like I have to agree with you because it feels like if you're being ignored, I really feel that this goes for everybody because it ain't just men
Hmm.
out here cheating, but women be out here cheating, but y'all can get away with it. Y'all know how to be slick and get away with it. I heard a podcast where the woman sent her man $75, sent the side dude $75 and a list of groceries. Be like, hey, go get all these groceries. We gonna go fool
Hmm.
around, but then after I'm done, I'm gonna take these groceries back. And went back to the husband. So y'all are good at it. So,
Yeah.
so I think, come to think about it, I feel like if people were heard, do you think the cheating would stop?
I do. Well, first, I think people don't even establish in the beginning of relationships what is considered cheating. You know, people don't have these conversations. Just be honest. If you like to watch porn or if you are into some kink and just tell your partner. You know what I mean? And then also on the same or on the different side of the coin, if you find out that your partner is watching some sort of porn, don't just shut them down. Which I don't think anyone should be shut down. I think people should ask questions like, oh, why are you into this? Do you want to do this in the bedroom? I think it just takes communication between two people. But yeah, I do think too a lot of women misunderstand male sexuality, and some have to be ready to listen to,
Yeah.
in my opinion. So,
Yeah. I feel like everybody
mhm,
misunderstands different sexualities. And also,
mhm,
but I realize with some women, it's like that man might be watching something you may not be into. Like some women aren't into anal, even though some, one of my
right.
exes wanted to try anal or was into anal. But it's just, it
Mhm,
seems like, I don't know. It's like, I feel like you got to expand your horizons if you're going to fulfill your
mhm,
partners
yeah.
because what if your partner is into something that you just won't do? You're like hard line to, hey, I'm not doing this.
Mhm. Yeah, exactly. And that's a lot of times that's why they come to us, because they want a safe place to say what they like. Like I'll have people even scared to tell me that they're into feet, which is basic compared to what I've heard. But they don't even feel comfortable saying that because you'll see online, and I'm just being honest, like you'll see women calling certain things gay online, and
That's
then
true.
how does that make men feel if they want to explore some type of anal play, but then they see that online, that they don't feel comfortable coming to you? And it's a shame that a lot of women have to make up for the other women who are saying those types of things. But, that's just a stigma too. You see people outing people for wanting to be pegs if you piss them off. Women, girlfriends, wives telling people what their husbands are doing in the bedroom, outing them for being bi. Like that's why they come to us, because we don't tell their secrets. We have a place where, we have a safe place where men can be themselves, and it's very discreet. And so I think we need to have more conversations like that, because you often get to hear how men really feel. And I think if we actually had more conversations, then people won't get hurt with cheating, if we were open to listening to each other, you know.
You
I
know,
know
I
that's such a
I
long
feel that no,
answer.
it's not, it's good, it's good.
Yeah,
It
just
was
being
definitely some
honest.
valid
Hmm.
point. You're saying what needs to
Hmm.
be said. who cares if it's a
Mhm.
long answer or not? I mean, you're saying what
Yeah.
needs to be said. It's just people need to have these conversations and be
Mhm.
open to the results of the conversations, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. You just gotta
It,
listen to people.
yeah,
That's
it's
all.
a sad world we live in, and also, I mean, hell, I don't know. Have you ever considered being a sex therapist? Because you seem like to be good at it, you know.
Yeah, well, so I actually major in psychology and then I got my master's in TV producing. But yeah, so I actually wanted to go into some sort of therapy. So I am thinking about it in the future because I do feel like I have a bird's eye view of certain perspectives that you don't always get to hear. And so I think that would be great to explore in the future or be some intimacy coach, even that too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that's real. That's amazing. So, what is some of sexual advice you would give to the men, and also some sexual advice you give to the women, based on everything you've seen and have experienced?
Yeah, I would, the main thing is boundaries and talking to one another. I always check in to see when it comes to my customers what they want, trigger words that they like, or if they want me to be in some sort of outfit, if I feel comfortable too. And I think communication, because I don't think people should really just jump into sex. It should be a discussion about what you're in the mood for today. If you're feeling some
Mm,
type of way and you want to do some role play that you've been thinking about, spice it up because and I was just talking to a sex therapist about or a sex coach educator too where and I forget the percentage, but a lot of women get bored in the bedroom and you have to keep it spicy. And so just finding different ways to be comfortable with yourself and not being scared, to be comfortable in your skin. And I think a lot of women, from what I see too, struggle with that, that a lot of adult entertainers have, that um, I can't really put into words, but it's like this sexual confidence and energy too that I think
mm.
would help too. People get more
Ooh,
comfortable. So
ooh,
yeah.
sexual confidence and sexual energy. Like,
Mhm.
how do I think that's another problem men be having, because sometimes we run into women who are just lay down to bed and hey, do what you want to do, or they just there's
Yeah.
nothing. It's just vanilla, not nothing about it that just screams, hey, let's do this. Because on a previous
Mhm.
episode of Liquor Talk that was recorded this month, or this month or last month, I can't remember. I think it was last month.
Mhm.
They did say have a conversation with a woman about what she wants in sex. That might actually get
Mhm.
her wet because not a lot of men do that.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that is 100% true and I agree. Asking her what she wants and the same for women too. But yeah, I do find, I'm gonna be honest, I do find that even with my past partners, some of them don't like to listen. They assume or maybe they want to show that they know what they're doing, but a part of that is letting your guard down and asking her because the biggest thing is when you pleasure her and you find what she actually likes, then I feel like that will boost your ego too, that you actually found her sweet spot. And you can only do that by um asking her what she likes.
You got to, yeah.
Every woman is not the same,
I learned that the
It's like a
hard way,
puzzle
but you're
down there.
right. I've learned that the hard
Yeah.
way so many different times where it's like
Mhm.
one woman is going crazy what you doing with your hands, and then another woman just looking at you
Mhm.
like, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah. Yeah. You just gotta ask.
Yes, I would definitely say I definitely have to agree. You gotta communicate when it comes to sex or
Mhm.
sexual desires. And now, what's a piece of advice you want to say to somebody that goes to like the swingers clubs? Because I've heard people that go to different, because there are like different swingers bars down here in Tampa where
Mhm.
they're like different exhibitionists where you can walk in, you can see somebody fucking right when you walk in, and also
Yep.
there are different
Mhm.
places where you could just be nude and stuff. So, what's some advice
Uh-huh.
you give to
Yeah.
first timers who ever go to those things?
When I went in the past, I went with someone who I knew. So if you can go with someone who you know and feel comfortable with, I would recommend a friend. And you all don't have to go and have sex. Like there are people who go there to eat, drink, and dance and just watch. You don't have to
Hmm.
participate in anything. So, find a friend, if you feel more comfortable. And if you're by yourself too, you can go by yourself. I mean, it's a social event. Yeah. I mean, they are very strict with people crossing boundaries. So everyone pays, typically, from what I've seen, they pay a fee. So if you're paying a lot of money, the crowd is different. You know what I mean? And so if you go by yourself, I would recommend women, though, go with, I'm just going to be honest, I would
Hmm.
go with someone because I know even with my partner, when we used to go, we used to have men approach us and want to join. And it's like, can you imagine if I was by myself? You know what I mean? If they're
Hmm.
bold enough to come up with my partner, imagine me by myself. So
Mm.
just for safety, go with like a
And
friend,
side
a
note,
group. Mm-hmm.
yeah, you gotta go in this group because that's probably why it costs about 200. There's one spot they charge like
Mm-hmm.
$200 for a man to come in there by himself. I'm like, so
Yeah,
that's
it's
why it's
expensive.
like you gotta find somebody to go with because me personally, I'm not paying no goddamn $200 to go to a spot. You got me fucked up. That's a goddamn car note right there. I'm not paying half of my
Yeah.
car note just to go into a spot. So I would rather go ahead and find somebody
Hmm.
to be a gate date or be my date for the
Right.
night. And let's go ahead and get together
Hmm.
where it's only $30. But
Hmm.
they charge so
Yeah.
much because men don't know how to behave. So I understand it,
It's
but
true.
it's fucked up. But
It's
I
true.
understand it.
Oh yeah. Yeah. You see a lot of freaky stuff in there. But yeah, it's a fun experience and I think people should at least try it out once in your life, There are rooms where you can walk and they're having sex. There's rooms where it's covered. There's bars. You can talk to people. It's a very fun environment. It really is. And it's nice to be around people who are comfortable with their sexuality.
Yes, it
Mhm.
is very refreshing to be a part of people who's comfortable in their sexuality because I've
Oh
done
yeah.
podcasts with people where I can tell they're comfortable with their sexuality. Those are fun. I like the sex episodes. So shout out to all the adult
Mhm.
content creators. Shout out to the sex-based podcast that have been on Liquor
Mhm.
Talk. It's definitely a good time to have them on because y'all are a lot of fun. I have to give y'all props for that.
Yeah, there's never a dull moment in our industry. I'll tell you that much.
Yes, you're right. There
Yeah.
is never a dull moment, especially if
Mhm.
you're somebody that goes from working in the newsroom to now I'm on camera. What
Right.
would you say? What would your coworkers, your former coworkers, if you know any of them, say if they found out?
They did. And let me tell you. So my family knew, but I officially made the post on my Instagram, sorry,
Hmm.
for my coworkers to see, my old bosses, and some of them were asking for a link. I gave it to them. They were, yeah. So I guess, I
Wow,
don't
you
know, some
gave them a
people had
link.
crushes on me or something. I don't know. I gave it to them. And then, some people in my personal life from conferences, just, people from your past life who follow you on Instagram that you've met throughout your past, just asking for the link. And, I gave it to them. So that's
And
how they responded.
you gave it to them with no hesitation.
No hesitation. And, I've been getting people buying my videos and subscribing. I don't know who they are, but, I thank them for
That
supporting
is
me.
bold. I ain't gonna lie. I got to that point with the
Hmm.
podcast. If somebody asks me for a link, hey, fuck it, I'll give you the link. But
Why not?
what do you say to the people that are judging out there? Because there are some people that will judge the hell of you. I'm like, we about to be in 2026. Shut the fuck up
Yeah.
if you want to judge me because you're not paying me. So I don't know why this world people want to judge
Hmm.
podcast hosts and also sex workers. 'Cause I feel like y'all get it worse.
We do. Yeah. A lot of those people are not comfortable with their sexuality, and a lot of times it's projection onto me. So, and I'll get silly trolls online who just want my reaction, making funny comments and stuff like that, but I usually just ignore them. And, if we all just mind our business, then the world would be a better place if we just worry what goes on in our own bedrooms instead of
Yes.
other people's bedrooms. That's what I have to say.
You're right about that. You're definitely right about it. So, what is the plan for the rest of the year with the podcast and also with the adult work, or are there any conferences
Mhm.
people can see you in live at, or what you got cooked up for the rest of the year?
Yeah, I'm planning on going to the AVN Awards. My podcast was nominated, hopefully is nominated this year, so that will be in Vegas in January of 2026. And then hopefully not I don't have any planned Exotica conventions, but hopefully in the future, if I do, feel free to look out if I change my mind. Yeah, those are my plans, and then I'll continue to run my podcast and drop spicy episodes and continue to serve my customers and run my business. Yeah.
And also, what is advice to new customers, the people who are haven't even subscribed to you? Why should they subscribe to you?
Well, I have over 400 plus videos. I put a lot of time and work in my videos. I incorporate music, role play. It's kind of like miniature series, and I I provide a personal connection to, for example, on my OnlyFans, if you want to video chat, have an audio call, there are several ways to have your fantasy fulfilled. And my DMs are open, but you have to pay. And and I'm not for everyone, only for the ones who are ready to and explore their fantasy with me.
That's real. Lastly, why do people need to subscribe and tap into the Spicy Spectrum podcast?
They need to subscribe because it is a place where, even if you are curious about your sexual de- desire or you want to learn more, it's a place where you can feel comfortable. The world is chaotic. There's a lot of news, and my place is a space where you can kick back and learn about what makes you human and not worry about everything else that's going on in the world.
That's real.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Hey, Pepper, I want to thank you for blessing the Liquor Talk with your presence. You're wonderful. I appreciate it. If you ever need me to hop on a podcast or do some
Yeah.
creation with you, I might be in Florida, but I'm just a DM away. So I appreciate you. Hope
Oh
you can
yeah,
run it back
anytime.
whenever. I definitely appreciate you for coming on.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. Yeah, and if you have some topics, some topic that relates to my podcast that you want to bring on, my DMs are always open. So yeah.
Yeah, that's real. And thank you to listeners for listening to this episode of Liquor Talk. Thank you for pouring up with us. Thank you for taking your shots of whatever you took a shot of with us, whether it's to listen to Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, wherever you get your podcasts at. Like, comment, subscribe. Tell us what you think of the episode. And until the next episode, peace.